Welcome to a place where hearts unwind, infinite threads that gently bind, love and compassion in every line. Together we rise through space and time.
Welcome back to Infinite Threads. I'm your host, Bob. In the last episode, we talked about something many of you quietly carry, the exhaustion that comes from always being the loving one, the one who steadies the room, the one who absorbs the tension, the one who chooses patience when others choose reaction. And we made something clear. Love is not self-erasure. Today we take the next step. Because once you realize you're tired, once you realize you've been overextending, something else becomes necessary. A word. A small word. No. Not the loud kind, not the angry kind, and not the kind meant to wound. The quiet one. There is a version of no that does not attack. It does not justify endlessly, and it does not tremble. It does not slam doors. It simply stands. Many of us were never taught how to use that word without guilt, especially those of us who value compassion, especially those of us who are the emotional stabilizers in our circles. We were taught that love means accommodation, that patience means tolerance, and that kindness means availability. So when something inside us tightens and whispers, "This isn't okay," we override it. We say yes when our body says no. We say maybe when we mean no. And we say I understand when we actually feel hurt. And slowly, the fatigue we talked about in the last episode begins to grow. Because every time you silence your own boundary, your nervous system keeps the record. The quiet no is not rebellion. It is alignment. It is what happens when you decide that love includes you too. The reason this is so difficult is because the world often misunderstands boundaries. It treats them like rejection. It treats them like hostility. It treats them like withdrawal of affection. But a boundary is not a wall. It is a doorway with a frame. It says, you may enter, but not in a way that harms. When you say no quietly, you are not punishing someone. You are clarifying reality. And clarity is loving. There is something incredibly powerful about a calm refusal. It doesn't escalate, and it doesn't dramatize, and it doesn't seek applause. It doesn't over-explain. It simply states, that doesn't work for me. And then it remains steady. The reason this unsettles people sometimes is because it removes the emotional game. It removes the performance. It removes the negotiation that often follows when someone expects you to cave. When you are used to being the flexible one, your firmness will surprise people. But firmness is not cruelty. In fact, sometimes the quiet no is the purest form of love available in a moment. It prevents resentment from building. It prevents burnout from growing. It prevents relationships from slowly corroding under unspoken frustration. In the last episode, we said that love without structure becomes depletion. This is the structure. The quiet no protects the thread. It keeps love from stretching so thin that it snaps. Now let's talk about something important. A quiet no does not require anger to justify it. You do not need to wait until you are furious to say no. You do not need to wait until you are breaking to draw a line. And you do not need dramatic proof to validate your discomfort. If something consistently leaves you feeling diminished, drained, or misaligned, that is enough. There is a deep strength in saying no before resentment has a chance to bloom. Because once resentment takes root, it changes your tone, it changes your energy, and it changes how you show up. The quiet no preserves softness. It allows you to remain open without being porous. And that's the difference. Being soft does not mean being absorbent to everything. Softness with boundaries is resilient. When you say no calmly, you are teaching others how to treat you. Not through lecture, not through accusation, but rather through consistency. And consistency builds respect. Will everyone like it? Well, no. Some people benefit from your lack of boundaries. Some people prefer the version of you that overextends. Some people feel safer when you are the one adjusting. When you stop adjusting, they may feel the shift. That discomfort does not mean that you are wrong. It means the dynamic has changed. And that leads us into the next episode. Because when you begin to grow, when you begin to choose structure, some people will push back. But before we go there, sit with this. There is nothing unloving about protecting your peace. There is nothing selfish about declining what harms you. And there is nothing cold about clarity. The quiet no is not a withdrawal of love. It is a refusal to let love be distorted. If you've been tired of being the loving one, this is one of the ways that you restore your strength without hardening your heart. You don't have to become louder, and you don't have to become sharper. You don't have to match the world's intensity. You simply stand. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say is nothing more than a steady, grounded, quiet no. I'm glad you're here, guys. I really am. And I'm glad you're learning that that love can be strong without being loud. I love you all very, very, very much. And you know what I need you to do? Go out and pass that on, okay? Later, Gators. Bye-bye.